In January 2012, Puerto Rico enacted the original Investor Resident Individual Act, then known as Act 22, to accelerate its economic growth. The goal of the legislation was to attract investors, empty nesters, retirees, and other high net worth individuals to the territory. The Puerto Rican government replaced Act 22 with Act 60 in January 2020, which introduced some requirement changes in order to take advantage of the Investor Resident Individual Tax Incentive. The act removed all capital gains taxes on gains realized after a decree holder had relocated to Puerto Rico. These gains include income from investment dividends and interest, income from short and long-term capital gains, and income from cryptocurrency and other crypto-based assets. There are also some caveats associated with various types of income that you should be sure to research before relocating. If you do not meet the Act 60 requirements by the end of the calendar year, you are taxed by the U.S. government. The key stipulation of the tax incentive was that the new residents had to be able to satisfy the residency requirements determined by the U.S. Internal Revenue Service Code. The 3 qualifying tests to determine whether someone holds bona fide residency in Puerto Rico are the presence test, the tax home test, and the closer connection test. The first and arguably most important test is the presence test that requires the individual to be physically present on Puerto Rican soil for at least 183 days during the taxable year. The next test is whether an individual maintains a tax home outside of Puerto Rico at any point during the taxable year. The IRS defines a tax home as the general place of business, employment, or post of duty, regardless of where the individual maintains their family home. The closer connection test is the third, somewhat subjective test by the IRS, where the IRS considers whether an individual has closer connections to the United States than to Puerto Rico. Act 60 now requires the purchase of real estate property within 2 years of obtaining your tax exemption decree. The property must also remain the individual's primary residence throughout the validity of the decree. To secure a tax exemption decree, the investor must apply through Puerto Rico's Office of Industrial Tax Exemption, or OITE. This decree will provide all pertinent tax rates and conditions mandated under Act 60. This contract is binding and supersedes any changes to Puerto Rico tax laws during the term of the agreement. There is a one-time fee of $5,000 that accompanies the application. The other fees include a $150 acceptance stamps fee, a $5,000 acceptance fee, and a $5,000 annual report filing fee. Along with these fees, there is also an annual donation requirement of $10,000 split between 2 certified nonprofits not owned or controlled by the individual investor or their relatives.